Breaking news. There's been an explosion at Brook Hollow Park. Chaos descended on a ceremony commemorating the 2-year anniversary of when 4 teenagers were miniaturized against their will and left to fight for their survival in the backyard of a deranged scientist.
It was announced over the weekend during the Xbox showcase that Obsidian Entertainment's wildly popular shrunken survival game would be getting a sequel. Grounded 2 will be releasing into early access as a game preview on Steam and the Xbox Series consoles in a little over a month on June 29th. This announcement comes as a huge surprise to the Grounded fandom, which has been eagerly awaiting news about the future of the franchise since updates for the last game ceased over a year ago. What up? It's me, Tiny Pirate Gaming, the internet's #1 Grounded gaming fangirl, and here's everything you might have missed during the Grounded 2 trailer premiere. In a lot of ways, Grounded 2 appears to be building upon the successful foundation of the first game by expanding and innovating its core gameplay mechanics while also adding depth to the narrative elements of this sci-fi thriller mystery. The biggest, most noticeable difference between Grounded and its sequel will come from the introduction of the new Buggy System. This is a brand new creature mounting mechanic that will be featured at launch, with 2 of the franchise's staple creatures, the red soldier ants and the orb weaver spiders. A creature mounting system was a feature highly requested by fans of the first game, and in Grounded 2 it will serve as a huge part of the player progression and critical path based off what we've seen so far. Each buggy mount will feature its own unique special abilities along with its own set of attack animations that can be performed by the player while mounted or on its own as a companion when dismounted. The orb weaver spiders are designed with fast-paced combat and exploration in mind. They can dish out a lot of damage, shoot webs to constrict their opponents, form shields for extra defense, can stun enemies with their spider screams, and can even build bridges to cross expansive obstacles. And if you're more of a builder than a basher, then the red ant buggy can handle all of your chopping and hauling needs to boost building productivity way more better than some lame trinket ever could. Red soldier ants also come with the ability to recruit additional worker ants as allies to defend your construction convoys. Based off of what we've been shown, it also appears that the buggies will be needed to clear park obstacles like underground routes with their powerful chompers. Much like the pet system from the first game, you'll be able to interact with your mounts, and considering that the saddles have saddlebags, they might even provide additional inventory space. Speaking of inventory space, we got a chance to check out 2 new menu screens, one showcasing the inventory and equipment, and another detailing some of the mutations. It was heavily implied during the Obsidian showcase that the combat system in Grounded 2 would be much more advanced than it was in the last game. Grounded 2's biggest combat change comes with the introduction of a dodge and dash, along with a refined approach that turns combat into a fast-paced game of rock, paper, scissors. This trifecta approach to game combat is built around light attacks, heavy attacks, and perfect blocks, which all appear to function in this game the same way they did in the original. Another change comes in the form of a class-based build structure with a heavier emphasis on playstyles than the first game. In Grounded 2, this class system is being called archetypes, which appears to come in 7 distinct fighting styles that are designed to fit with various class-structured builds of weapons and armor. There's unarmed melee, bashing weapons, throwing spears, dual daggers, bows and arrows, swords, and magic staffs listed in the mutations menu, and based off what we were told in the showcase, these can be mixed and matched to adapt to individual playstyles. The mutation system has also been refined to include passive and active skills. Passive mutations will likely always be activated once acquired, as opposed to active mutations which can be turned on and off depending on your build, playstyle, or situation. Throughout the Grounded 2 premiere, we got a lot of looks at both the new park area as well as a ton of new creatures that will be inhabiting this expansive play space. Just how expansive exactly? 3 times larger than the original yard from what we've been told, and it will be filled with environmental storytelling elements to expand our understanding of Grounded's universe. When it comes to the creatures, some of them are returning fan favorites from the original game, but we also got to see some new bugs that'll be joining the roster. Making their expected return are red ants, ladybugs, larvae, orbweaver spiders, stink bugs, bombardier beetles, wolf spiders, spiderlings, bees, weevils, mosquitoes, mantises, and fireflies. We also know of at least 7 new creatures that will be introduced in the park. These include caterpillars, butterflies, small and large snails, small and large cockroaches, and scorpions. Neat! As for the park itself, I've already mentioned that it's much larger in size, but it also introduces entirely new biomes. From what we've seen so far, some of these biomes are revamps of areas that we saw in the first game, like a trash can, a picnic table, and various grassland regions. But there's also a ton of new regions that will likely enhance the exploration elements that help make the first game such an enjoyable experience. These new regions include a speaker, a park bench, a podium, a park gate, and an ice cream cart that's been tipped over. The tipped over ice cream cart creates a tundra-like cold environment which was highly requested for the last game along with the creature mounts. We're also told about an underground chemical spill that I imagine will function much like the Haze region did in the first game. The most important regions we were given glimpses of were the Billy Hog food trailer, likely to be an expansive interior space, the new Ominent Labs with these mysterious symbols and signs of vandalism, and a Tully Burgle commemorative fountain statue. And before I move into covering the new lore implications, I also want to mention that I've consulted with top men, and we believe that we spotted additional biomes from this aerial footage and this commemorative park map. These areas appear to be a garden zone, a greenhouse, a bridge, and a small creek leading to a pond, sometimes called a brook, as in Brook Hollow? Could this be the Hollowed Brook of Brook Hollow? Here it is on the map. I don't know, but I do know that there's probably going to be a pond in the game, so get ready for it. Now before we go any further, if you're unfamiliar with the Grounded lore, then this is your warning. I'm going to spoil some of it right now. After surviving the events of their first shrinking-themed shrinking-related adventure in Dr. Tully's backyard, our heroes, Max, Hoops, Pete, and Willow, formed a science club at their school based off of the good ending which we now know to be canonical. According to information in the new trailer, it also looks like they became local heroes alongside Wendell Tully for thwarting Director Schmechter and solving the case of the disappearing teens from Ominent Spacer trials. As far as we know, Director Schmechter is still in prison. However, Ominent Practical Technologies has rebranded itself with a new image and new leadership. The new face of management in Ominent sort of resembles the scientist that rescued the heroes in the first game. But until we know more, that's just a theory, a tiny pirate gaming theory. Grounded 2's plot starts off with an explosion at the Brook Hollow Public Park during the 2-year anniversary of the events of the first game at the commemoration of the Dr. Wendell Tully fountain that I mentioned before. Considering that there's no actual damage to the park from an explosion, I'm inclined to theorize that the explosion was actually a spacer blast used to shrink our heroic cast mid-ceremony, but again, this is just speculation. What we do know is that our heroic teens are back again to save the day, except this time they're older, stronger, and more experienced at surviving shrunken situations, making them even more dangerous than they were before. They also have these awesome Scabby 2 power gauntlets that remind me of the old Nintendo Power Glove. Anyone remember those? I could theorize and speculate more regarding the story of Grounded 2. Like, what's up with this triangle? Who are these shrunken skeletons? Why does Ominent have shrunken labs in the park? But I think I'll save all that stuff for my Twitch stream, so follow me over there if you want to speculate too. The final thing I want to mention here is that much like Grounded 1, this game will be a community-involved event. For those of you who may have missed out on the first Grounded game preview, I'll be the first to tell you that it was an adventure like no other I've seen or experienced in the world of gaming. Whether it was due to the casually grounded dev streams, the tight-knit community of Grounded creators, or the overall excitement and enthusiasm from its fandom, the entire ride was a blast from start to finish. I might be a bit biased, as I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity to work with the devs, collaborate with other streamers and YouTubers, and met a bunch of amazing friends along the way. But now it's your chance to become part of the legacy that is Grounded. The legend of Grounded goes way beyond just being a goofball game about being shrunk. It's more than its heroes, villains, and mysteries. It's not about bashing bugs or building forts or even doing burger quests. The true magic of Grounded has always been the fact that it's built a community of passionate game developers and experienced gamers who are all drawn to this franchise from a variety of genres, specifically because of its originality. Together, this amazing community already built one genre-defining survival game, and together, I think we can do it again. So whether I see you here in the comments, over in the Twitch chat, or someplace else across the Streamiverse, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, see ya! Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe.